Nerdbots.
Holy shit! I need an anxiety pill. A movie about recycled military defense robots turned into Santa Clauses that are now on recall.
What could go wrong with that?
Welcome to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, and this is Dave for Nerdbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife Jenn, also from Nerdbox. And on this episode, we are talking about Christmas, Bloody Christmas. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
This holiday season, show your loved ones that you really care by getting them the gift that they've always wanted.
Wow! Dad! Really? Yes! Is there anything else? Wow, some Junko! This is just what I wanted! I want some!
We can all have some.
This is Brian O'Halloran, and you're watching the Popcorn Confessional on the Nerdbox. Sounds like a porn site.
It's Christmas Eve, and fiery record store owner Tori Toombs just wants to get drunk and party. Until the robotic Santa Claus at a nearby toy store goes haywire and makes her night more than a little complicated. Santa embarks on a rampant killing spree through the neon-drenched snowscape, ultimately forcing Tori into a blood-splattered battle for survival.
This is one of the two movies that inspired us to release the 5 Killer Santa Claus movies that you may have not seen recently on the Pop 5, and I think that list may have just changed tonight after this movie. Because if you have seen Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler in it, then you'll probably have felt the same way that we did. Halfway through the movie, you kind of feel like you need some anxiety medication because you're feeling and experiencing everything that the character is. This is directed by Joe Begos, who brought us VFW and the movie Bliss. This movie was just pure awesome.
All I can say is that the Santa is like, I don't know what he is, 7-8 feet tall. You know, typical like animatronic Santa that you would see, only, you know, this one knows how to kill because he's a military defense robot turned Santa.
The U.S. Defense Department has spent over $1 trillion on the most cutting-edge robot technology deployed overseas for swift victory against America's deadliest enemies. And now, Sowell Robotic Products is here to make that technology fun for the entire family.
Ho, ho, ho!
Obviously, they didn't think that through at all.
The chemistry of the characters in the beginning of the movie really just hooks you. So you have the store owner, who is played by Riley Dandy, and Robbie, and the two of them, they just banter back and forth for maybe the first 15-20 minutes. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty damn awesome because they're debating music, they're debating movies, how Blumhouse kind of sucks. So they're just going through the routine, and they both don't really care for Christmas that much, so they're just trying to make it through the night. And then chaos just breaks loose.
Yeah, and let's not forget we have Jeff Daniel Phillips as Sheriff Monroe, so it's always nice to see him on the screen. He didn't disappoint.
Yeah. The movie, honestly, when it turns up the horror, it really cranks it up here.
There's just a lot of blood, let's put it that way. Personally,
if you've seen our reviews when we talked about Driven and Last Night in Soho, and we talk about the lighting effects are here. In the description, the neon snowscape, yes, it is neon. The colors are there and they just pop, just like they did in VFW too. And this movie is just a throwback to the 80s and 90s. We talk about this with Terrifier. It's like, oh my god, Saturday morning, everything 80s, video stores, all just wrapped up into this nice little ball of a movie and given to you. And here we go. 2 months later, we get the same thing.
Yeah.
The movie in the beginning is a little bit slow. The music is a little bit too much. I think sometimes it's a little overpowering.
Yeah.
But as I was mentioning, once the horror turns up, the film style changes and it pulls you right into every single scene, and that's what kind of gets your heart racing.
Yeah, you find yourself sitting there like, oh my god, get the hell out of there! Like, what are you doing? Why don't you do this? So
people next to us, edge of their seats watching the film, so that's always great when you get to see other people's reactions and how they're watching the film.
And we kept going back and forth like, she should have just done this, or they should have done that. Like, that'll take care of it, you know. Obviously, had they done that, then the movie would have been shorter or wouldn't have existed at all. But, you know, it's good when you have that interaction with the film and that you're getting frustrated with the characters, because then it's a good film.
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of just great callbacks and nuggets to other movies. One that brings me such great bliss, plug, that I can't talk about because it's going to be a spoiler, but my god, the ending, it takes the film from one level to another level, and it kind of changes the genre a little bit, and it's just like, wow.
I really didn't know how this movie was going to end, because for a little bit of time there, I honestly thought it was going to end way different. So, that's a good thing. I didn't know what to expect or how it was going to end, because this fucking Santa Claus doesn't die, right?
It's a robot. It's a military robot.
Well, I get it. So obviously it's made to withstand a lot. So I mean, you just do anything you want to this friggin' thing, and it just keeps coming back. And then he's got eyes that are shooting. They're not lasers. I guess they're just to see you. But well, like in the dark, like in the military, I guess. But oh my god, this freaking thing.
Now, like Terrifier 2, if you like that movie, you're definitely going to like this. If you like Killer Santa Claus movies, you're going to like this as well. But what's unique about this film from other horror films is the female protagonist. Another movie with a very strong female protagonist. Not somebody that is forced into the role because they become the victim. This is a character that is essentially always that strong female. She owns her own business. She has her own employees. Sure, she likes to party. So what? Who cares? But she is just strong from the beginning to the end. So it's just like, all right, she's put into this situation where she has to battle the robot, and it just it's like, all right, I'm gonna fuck shit up.
And kind of the little bit that you do get on like her maybe family when she was younger, she seems to have maybe like raised herself, or you know, for the most part, she doesn't talk about her mom at all, and she doesn't really want to have much of a relationship with her father, so that leads me to believe that she's kind of had to be this way. So
I don't know her age, but she seems like a Gen Xer. Now, before we give a rating, Joe Bagos, Damian Leone, holy shit, is horror in some good hands. Open up your checkbook, studios, write whatever number they want, let them make the films that they want, because with the two of them, it's like Christmas in the 80s. It's horror in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's that good. You know, I'm not a fan of the 80s, but if you ask me what the best thing about the 80s is, it's the horror movies. They just stand out from all the other decades. And the two of them are just taking us right back there. It's just amazing. I want to go to a video store now. I want to see a stand-up display of Art the Clown. I want to see a stand-up display of this crazy-ass Santa Claus. It's just amazing.
Good luck with that.
Dreams. So what do you rate this one?
I would go see it again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely would go see this one again myself. It's on Shudder today. So if you don't have an opportunity to go to the theaters and see this, watch it on Shudder. Go ahead and subscribe and watch that movie. But if you do have this playing by you, I would recommend that you go and see this in the theaters, because you are going to miss out on the experience of not seeing it in the theaters.
Unless you are susceptible to migraines or seizures, then I don't recommend it, because there is some bright ass lights in it that are flashing, and wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, buckle up, Buttercup. This is a good one.
He doesn't know how to use that.
Alright, whatever. Anyway, don't forget, it is the quest for 5,000 subscribers, and you can help us get there by
liking, subscribing, and sharing.
Yes. And along the way, as we hit videos with 100 likes and 100 comments, we'll give away some stuff. Once we hit 5,000 subscribers, we'll give away this lovely box of Strawberries and Scream cereal signed by Matthew Lillard and David Arquette that you're not going to get anywhere else. And then after you're done watching this review, go check out 5 other Killer Santa Claus movies, because now I really have to think, where does this movie fall in that list? Because that was a good list. This is, and we talked about it in that show where the top 3 easily could be number 1s, and this one can easily be a number 1 as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, until the next Popcorn Confessional.
See ya.